I do not have the programming to be a mother.
What's going up there, YouTube land and also social media lands? Welcome to an all new video. In this video, we're doing a movie review of a new film that just came out last weekend and is a CGI animated film from DreamWorks. So we're going to get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video and the other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social platforms such as X, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Patreon, TikTok. Pretty much post on these regularly, so definitely check them out. As always, people, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all new video. So like I was saying before, we're doing a movie review of a new film that just came out last weekend and is a DreamWorks animated film called The Wild Robot. Yeah! The Wild Robot. Yeah. This is a fantastic film. It's so well done, so well animated, and just was so fun and heartwarming from beginning to end. And I just really enjoyed how this film really brought that same feeling, that essence of what Pixar used to give us and what Disney used to give us. And that's what this film really did. It felt like one of those classic type of films. And I really enjoyed just everything about the film, the whole concept, the whole idea. And I thought that everyone did a great job, you know, bringing this movie to life and give us a really solid new DreamWorks animated film. Now, this film has to be directed by no other than a great DreamWorks director himself that has done several things for DreamWorks over the years and is just a really great person in the animated field. And that, of course, is Mr. Chris Sanders. Oh yeah, Chris Sanders. Woo, Chris Sanders. Yeah. So Chris Sanders, like I said, has been a part of DreamWorks and many of the different places for many years, doing lots of animation and all kinds of stuff like that. And just a really solid director. And I've always enjoyed pretty much anything he's given us and everything he's done. And he just does a really great job of bringing it all to life and giving us really solid films that are enjoyable for all types of people, all types of ages, and so forth. Now, this film is just, like I said, so well done. I mean, I sat there just in awe the whole time watching it and just really found it enjoyable and so fun, and I thought Chris did a great job of bringing that to life. I like the direction he took the film in. I like how he kept it, you know, going very fast-paced, but not too fast, and he didn't make it drag out at all. And I also enjoyed that he kept it very simplistic, that there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, and I really enjoyed that he gave us a really solid, straightforward film that just was so well animated too. The CGI, the look, everything that he made sure to really give us lots of great scenery and all this kind of stuff just really worked well for the film, and he just did a really good job with that. And giving us really solid animation, plus giving us really great surroundings to really kind of feel like you were there, present in the wild with these people, or these animals and this robot, and really feeling a part of that film. Now, if you haven't seen anything else Chris Sanders has done, definitely a great film to check out of his is a great film that came out a few years ago with the voice talents of Emma Stone and Nicolas Cage called The Croods. Yeah, The Croods. Yeah, this is such a great film, really great animated film about cavemen, cave people, and it's just super funny, and Chris did such a great job with this film. Very great entertainment, lots of great value to it, just a really enjoyable, fun film that is about basically kind of discovering what maybe cavemen did and cave people did. And I thought it was just a really clever idea, and I loved what Chris did with the film and gave us this really solid, just solid family, all around anybody could watch type of film that had great writing, great humor, great animation, great music, and just a really great stellar voice cast as well. And you fell in love with the characters and you enjoyed them and you wanted to be a part of the Croods. And I just think Chris did a great job of giving us a really fun film that was super entertaining and just a really great classic now. If you haven't seen anything else Chris Sanders has directed, definitely check out The Croods. He did a really phenomenal job with it. But overall, I really enjoyed what Chris Sanders did with The Wild Robot. I thought it was another solid entry in his directing feats. And I just really enjoyed that he gave us a really solid film that was highly entertaining, highly educational, and at the same time, he gave us a really great idea of what it was like to be liked by all types of people and all types of generations. and I think that was really well done by him and giving us this really solid film that everyone can enjoy. Really well done by Chris. If you haven't seen anything Chris has directed, go check out The Wild Robot in theaters now. He did a really excellent job. So this movie has a really great voice cast, lots of great people that provided their voices for the characters in this film, and they all did such a fantastic job. I really enjoyed their evolution of their characters throughout the film. I enjoyed what they brought to the characterizations, and all of them, I thought, did a great job of giving us really authentic sounding characters as well. And you actually felt the emotion. You felt the characters, kind of their thought process of that, and each of them, through their voice talent, really showed through, like they were acting, but just with their voice, and I thought they all did such a great job. Now, to start us off is none other than the main robot herself, Miss Lupita Nyong'o. Oh yeah, Lupita Nyong'o, woo, Lupita Nyong'o, yeah. So Lupita, you might recognize, of course, from films like Us, 12 Years a Slave, and so forth. Most recently, Quiet Place, Day One, of course. And she is a really decent actress. I've really enjoyed her in many things I've seen her in. I think that she has some really great talent to her. She's done all types of different genres. And I think that she is a really great talent that's super enjoyable and just does a really good job with her characters. Like, I think her efforts and her thought process and bringing these characters to life, I think she has a really great ethic to that. And you could really see it in her performances where she really brings to life these characters and just doesn't like half-ass it type of deal. And, sometimes actors and actresses kind of do that. They just kind of play kind of the same characters. But Lupita does a really good job of giving us different types of characterizations. And I think she brought that to her voiceover in The Wild Robot. And I really enjoyed her voice. It was very soothing. It was very... it would be a great voice to have on a robot to listen to. And she just did a really good job of showing emotion through, a character that doesn't really have the ability to show emotion. And through her voiceover, she did that. And I thought that was really phenomenal and really well done by Lupita. And I just really enjoyed her characterization of Roz the robot. And it just was really well done. Now, if you haven't seen anything else Lupita's been in, definitely a great film to check her out in that came out in 2018 that is a part of the Marvel Universe called Black Panther. Yeah! Black Panther. Yeah! She's absolutely fantastic in this film. I love her character, being kind of the love interest of, T'Challa, and, being... that great kind of like supporting character that kicks butt to as well. She was really fun in the film. I enjoyed her persona. I enjoyed the characterization. I liked what she brought to the character. And overall, I think she just did a really great job in Black Panther 1. And she just really gave us a really overall great reaching character that, you can play on in other Marvel films and so forth and stuff down the line. She just really had a great eye for that character. And I just really enjoyed what she brought to it in her evolution of the character. And I just thought that she was a really great, side character that worked really well with Black Panther himself and with the other characters. And it just overall did a really fantastic job. If you haven't seen Lupita Nyong'o or anything, definitely check her out on Black Panther. She was really great. But overall, I really enjoyed her as a Wild Robot. She was fantastic. I really thought she did a great job, and I just really enjoyed her performance in the film. If you haven't seen her recently or anything, go check her out in The Wild Robot. She did a really great job. So that brings me to the next actor I'd like to talk about that did a voiceover in this film. And that is none other than the main fox himself, Mr. Pedro Pascal. Oh yeah, Pedro Pascal, woo, Pedro Pascal, yeah! So Pedro Pascal, of course, you might recognize as the Mandalorian in the Mandalorian series. You might recognize him in a few things over the years, Last of Us, massive talent with Nicolas Cage, and so forth and stuff like that. He is just a really fun character and actor because he really brings some really great funness to his characters, and I always enjoy watching him and his performances and everything he brings to it because they're always really interesting and overall just really fun. And I think that he has a really great eye for what he brings to his characters, and he always does a really good job of evolving the characters. And I feel he kind of did that in The Wild Robot, even though it's an animation, But with his voiceover, I really thought he really, showed a difference from how he began as a fox to how he ends as a fox. And I really enjoyed it. I thought he was a really great choice. I mean, throughout the whole movie, I didn't realize it was him voicing the character because he almost sounded kind of like Matthew Broderick. He sounded like a few other actors. And I thought that he did a great job of masking his voice and giving us a completely different interpretation of his acting. And I thought it was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it, and I thought Pedro Pascal was really fantastic as his character. Now, if you haven't seen Pedro or anything, definitely a great film to check him out in that I really enjoyed him in and thought it was, one of his better performances. And once again, shows his voice acting talent. Is a great film that came out a few years ago called The Kingsman. Golden Circle. Yeah. Kingsman. The Golden Circle. Yeah. He actually plays a good guy in this film. He plays one of the Texan versions of the Kingsman. And you end up finding out that he's a bad guy. But overall, I loved his character. I thought Pedro Pascal was super fantastic as his character. And I loved how he gave himself a Texas accent in the film, which was super funny. And I thought he did a good job of masking his actual voice and giving us this really great, Texas accent that really sounded pretty real. And I thought that his characterization was just really fun, really enjoyable. And overall, I just thought that he did a really great job with all the other actors and actresses in the film. And he really kicked butt. And he had some great one-liners throughout the film. And some of his action scenes were just so amazingly choreographed and just really well done. And I thought he did a really great job. If you haven't seen Pedro Pascal, definitely check him out in The Kingsman, The Golden Circle. He was really phenomenal. But overall, he was my absolute favorite character in The Wild Robot. I loved him as the fox, and he just really pulled the character together and gave us a really fantastic performance. If you haven't seen Pedro or anything recently, go check him out in The Wild Robot. He did a really phenomenal job. So that brings me to the final actor I'd like to talk about that provided a voice in this film. And that is none other than Jackie Daytona himself, Mr. Matt Berry! Oh yeah, Matt Berry, woo, Matt Berry, yeah! So Matt Berry you might recognize from What We Do in the Shadows, the TV series where he plays Jackie Daytona and his fake name Bart owner, or as of course, Laszlo. And he is absolutely such a freaking great English actor, comedian. He is so freaking funny. Absolutely love Matt Berry. Everything he is in, he's always super on point, super funny. He had a show called The Toast of London, where he plays a character named Toast. He has been in several things over the years, and he is just a freaking fantastic comedian that no matter what he does, he's always super awesome. So when I found out that he was the voice of the Beaver in this, I was absolutely stoked as hell, because I absolutely loved him as the Beaver. He was super fun, super hilarious, and exactly what Matt Berry would do as a character in any of his shows or movies. And he just really brought a really great essence to the Beaver and giving you a great idea of what the Beaver was like. And his interactions with the other characters were super funny always and just super enjoyable. And he just was fantastic as the Beaver and just really brought a really great funness to the character. He had some great one-liners, he had some great dialogue throughout the film, and he just was super enjoyable and a great addition to that cast. Now, if you haven't seen anything Matt Berry has been in, something to check him out in that I absolutely enjoy him in, and is a great TV show that is actually going to be airing its final season this year. And that, of course, is the show called What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah! What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah! He is absolutely awesome as Laszlo. He is so freaking funny. Him and Nadia are so amazing together, and they work so well together, the actress that plays Nadia, and he just brings that character to life, and he has some of the greatest lines in that whole show. And there's some great sequences throughout the seasons where he has just been on point, super funny. And some of those characterizations have been just on point, where there's, like, I think it's the second season where he goes in hiding and he pretends to be Jackie Daytona, this bar owner, and it's absolutely stinking hilarious. But then there's like times where he's just like this crazy fiend of sex and fantasies, and there's like this time that he It talks about how he was a porn star at one point and stuff like this, and it's just so freaking funny. And Matt just really knows how to bring together such funny things that are super hilarious and just on point. And he just shows that in What We Do in the Shadows. If you haven't seen Matt Berry anything, definitely check him out in What We Do in the Shadows. He's absolutely fantastic in the series. But overall, he was a great character in this film. I absolutely loved him. I think he does a great job. He's my, second favorite, almost tied first with the Fox character by Pedro Pascal. And he just was so freaking awesome as this character. If you haven't seen Matt Berry recently, go check him out in The Wild Robot in theaters now. He was phenomenal. So what is The Wild Robot about? Basically, the premise of the story is there's this robot that lands on this island where it's not supposed to land, and it basically is activated by the animals there on the land, and basically, the character goes to try to fulfill its duties as this robot, and then ends up becoming and finding itself as its own entity, and that it becomes friends with all the animals, and kind of about how she discovers who she is, and dealing with the company that she's from, and trying to survive and become who she is. It's a really fantastic story, really fun, really well done. Animation's amazing, soundtrack is amazing, and overall just really great performances by all involved. It just was a really well-directed animated film that was super enjoyable and just rocked. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out in movie theaters now. It's really worth a watch. I had 10 golden movie boxes up. Can't wait to add it to collection. Really superb film. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Also, thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been before, don't forget to check out any older new videos but I haven't seen mine yet. As always, people, if you enjoy the channel and want to show support for it, please check out my awesome Patreon. Because once you become a part of my Patreon and become a member, you get access to all kinds of extra accoutrement that you don't get here on the YouTube channel. Just outtakes, bloopers, suggestions of what I do next, all that kind of cool stuff. So definitely check that out, people. As always, catch you next one.